Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the camera comparison between the Honor 9 Lite and the Redmi Note 4. On the rear, Honor 9 Lite comes with a dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera and a 2 megapixel secondary camera for depth sensing along with a single LED flash. Redmi Note 4 comes with a single 13 megapixel camera with dual tone dual LED flash. On the front, Honor 9 Lite once again comes with a dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera and a 2 megapixel secondary camera for depth sensing. Redmi Note 4 comes with a single 5 megapixel camera. Now these are the sample shots. There is no auto HDR on both the phones, so all these images were taken with HDR turned off. Honor 9 Lite overexposes the images to make them look bright, but they also make the colors look faded out. Even the colors are to the warmer side. On Redmi Note 4, colors look a lot better and cleaner with better dynamic range. There is a huge difference in color reproduction and Redmi Note 4 does a much better job over there. These are the macro shots. While taking the macro shots, Honor 9 Lite has focusing issues while Note 4 doesn't. Even for macro shots, there is a huge difference between both the phones in terms of color reproduction. These are the images taken with HDR turned on both the phones. Colors are still warm and look faded on Honor 9 Lite. Redmi Note 4 does a great job with color reproduction and dynamic range. To keep it simple, when it comes to rear cameras, Redmi Note 4 is way better than Honor 9 Lite. Now Honor 9 Lite comes with a dual camera setup on the rear and offers us some extra features like the wide aperture mode, portrait mode and moving picture mode, while Redmi Note 4 doesn't have any such features. Now these are some portrait shots. Portrait shots on Honor 9 Lite are good but not as good as Mi A1 in terms of edge detection. But when it comes to how the pictures look, I prefer Honor 9 Lite over Mi A1 for the portrait shots. Now coming to selfies, selfies are good on both the phones, but Honor 9 Lite has wide angle lens, so you get wider selfies and that's a huge advantage. There is a slight variation in skin tones, but both look good, and you can pick the best one based on your preference. Selfies on Redmi Note 4 are good, but selfies from Honor 9 Lite are better. These are some more selfies taken in low light conditions. In low light conditions, Honor 9 Lite uses the display as flash and Redmi Note 4 doesn't offer any kind of flash. So selfies from Honor 9 Lite are more brighter with less noise and better color reproduction. In indoor lighting conditions, images from Honor are overexposed but still look better because of the wider lens. So for selfies, Honor 9 Lite is better than Redmi Note 4. Now just like with the rear cameras, Honor 9 Lite comes with dual camera setup and offers a portrait mode for the selfies. So here are some sample shots. Redmi Note 4 once again doesn't offer a portrait mode for selfies. So that's another advantage of getting the Honor 9 Lite over the Redmi Note 4. Now coming to low light performance, you get soft images on both the phones. But images from Honor 9 Lite are more darker, lack sharpness and colors look faded. The only good thing about Honor 9 Lite is the less amount of noise, at least less than Redmi Note 4. Images from Redmi Note 4 look bright, noise is easily visible, but color reproduction is good. The same applies even for indoor lighting conditions. So for low light performance, Redmi Note 4 is the winner. Now coming to video recording, both the phones can only record video in 1080p and there is no optical image stabilization or electronic image stabilization for both the phones. So the footage from both the phones is very shaky. Now coming to the footage quality, Honor's footage is very bright with very warm colors, whereas Note 4's footage is kinda dull and darker with better colors. So both the phones offer two different kind of experiences and you can pick the best one based on your preference. But looking at the footage, I kinda prefer Honor 9 Lite's footage over Redmi Note 4. Now coming to the front camera video recording, once again you get wider and brighter footage on Honor 9 Lite, whereas the darker and less wider footage from Redmi Note 4. So even for front camera video recording, I'll pick Honor 9 Lite as the winner. Now coming to the conclusion, rear cameras are definitely better on Redmi Note 4. With that said, front-facing cameras are way better on Honor 9 Lite. With Honor 9 Lite, you also get some additional features like the portrait mode for the front and rear cameras, along with a wide aperture mode and moving picture mode, which are missing on the Redmi Note 4. So if you are comparing these two phones, I think it will be better to go with the Honor 9 Lite for all the features it offers, at least purely in terms of cameras. So guys, looking at the sample pictures and videos, which phone do you think did better? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you are planning to buy either of these phones, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter, and we will try to make it as soon as possible. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to see more cool videos on tech. I am Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.